Hey guys, welcome back to Dome's Speed Shop. Today we're going to be putting some stuff back on the Healey, prepping it for transport for a move that's coming in the near future. Let's check it out. Now come around the shop here lately. I've been clearing stuff out. That's all scrap. Small block parts. I think there's some Buick manifolds in there. Kingpins from a heavy duty application. Some F-body calipers. Yeah, it's all stuff that's just been sitting around. I was debating if I was going to hold on to, and to scrap she goes. I don't know if I'm going to put the fender back on the 53, because I took it off with the engine out. It's easier to access with bolts that way. So we'll see if that happens, but for today, got me putting these doors back on for transport. So the fun part of these doors is small car. They don't weigh much, so that's a good advantage. These are relatively easy to put back on. So let's do it. Helps out the bolts. Austin Healey, I'm sure other small bridge cars use these screws to hold them on. They rust into place after the car sits forever. So be prepared for that if you're taking the doors off for the first time in, I don't know, 50, 60, 10, 5, 8, 6, pick a number of years. Always forget where your other tools are at, so you hit the door in 30 seconds. I don't gotta worry about paint on this anyways. Now, if you want to see how these doors are put on here, you got the hinges on this side, the other side, which I'm reinstalling. As you can tell, those screws weren't playing nice. These screws weren't playing nice. Those are basically welded to the inner door. So those weren't coming out. I got these guys over here out the first time, and unfortunately these are the ones that are going back in for now. I'm only doing 2 screws per hinge, so I have enough screws for the other door. Once again, this is just for transport. The car's not going to be driven like this. This is just quick and dirty, real easy for now. Massive screws though. Screw heads, I should say. The screws themselves aren't that big. But yeah. Bit driver. Good ratchet. Just goes in. If you look right over here, this is the car's original color. The original Austin Healey blue. Really nice shade of blue. These cars are gorgeous in it, but this car is going to look way better in black, in my opinion. Now let's see if these door hinges still move. First time the door's been on this car in 3 years. Really makes it look like I made progress when 4 screws. Body panels make all the difference. So this other door I picked up 2.5 years ago when I first got this project off eBay. Picked up for pretty cheap for considering what these parts go for. Because if you've ever stored an Austin Healey or anything other than MG, push car parts are not cheap. And you stare at them for too long, they start rusting. Kind of like a modern Mopar. This door hasn't ever been on this car. Listing was for 104. I know the 106 is a little different as far as Austin Healey goes. So we'll see if this fits. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah. Little Desert Storm action going on there. Tan. And we still got some inner door cards still left on it. Originally British Racing Green. Ooh, still got a latch. I don't have a latch on the other door. This door's kind of churching it up. Try not to make too much noise today to wake up the toddler. So we'll see how that works out. So this door is going to be interesting because I don't know if I have the full room here to get the door on here, but it's not a Chevelle door, it's not a Mopar door. Might fit. The perks of working on a small sports car. One that would be comparable to like a Miata. You guys who are too young to, I'm too young to be working on this or know about this, but you guys who really have no idea what this is about the power equivalent of putting a small block Chevy, or yeah, small block Chevy in a Miata. Power to weight ratio game. Is it gonna be fast? No. It's gonna be spunky though. Spunky's good. And these door hinges are frozen. Sweet. Means time to take a break because my toddler's down for nap. When working on a project, one of my words of wisdom is make sure you buy stuff like metal consumables in a timely fashion that you're going to use them. Watch what happens when you let sheet metal sit around for too long. I bought this from Menards probably, we'll call it 8 months ago. That's how bad this stuff will flash rust if you let it just sit around. My garage is not super high humidity. I'm in the Midwest. And I mean, it's on there. It'd wipe off, don't get me wrong. It's not rusted through or anything. Something to keep in mind when you buy a project car. You got parts scattered throughout the garage and looks like a yard sale for a couple months, years. Also, prevent your hot rod from turning into a shelf. As soon as it becomes a shelf, it becomes a shelf. You're not working on it too much because you look at it and go, oh, I'll move all that crap. Just to get dirty and rusty and, oh yeah, well that's gotta go back in the car because now that's a shelf to me. Things to think about, yeah, whatever. Also things to think about, like, subscribe to this video if you want to see more project cars, hot rods. I got more coming down the pipeline after the move. So I might be on a brief hiatus, but we'll see what happens. And as mentioned, since this is going to transport, anytime you do something like this, you want to go through a vehicle, anything that looks loose that might fall off the car, make sure you move it. You don't want to chase this down the side of the highway. Like, trunk lid, secured. Everything that's in the trunk lid, not so much. So I will have an OSHA approved bungee cord or ratchet strap, depends if the day ends with a Y, to secure my load of the vehicle and make sure nothing escapes. Because you don't want to be the guy laying down road hazards. You just don't be that guy. Well, I got lucky with the hinges and I didn't have to beat them with a hammer. Got them to move just a little bit, enough to get the door on. They're stiff, yeah, I can't move them by hand, but I can move them with a pry bar. That means with enough leverage to the door, they'll move. So, let's get the door on. Secured enough to move. These doors are going to come back off. Just going on here. Drop the door, that counts as wet sanding. I don't know. Why is it so far forward? So upon closer inspection, these doors have risers on them to put the hinge on. I'll show you. So on the other door, so we come over here. Right down in here, you got a little riser. Gets the door off the hinge a little. So you come back over. This door with the awesome door card, because that's mint. That's factory. No riser. Bare metal. So, back to Evil Bay, or Austin Healey Spares, or another British website. Because it's weird enough of a shape and clearance for, I don't want to fab that. It's gonna be a pain to fab that. It can be done, but not the time frame I'm trying to spend on this. Now, when it's faced with the dilemma, I'm not having a bracket for the door. Since this is just going for transport, it's gonna come back apart anyways. I might have time to fix it. Found the bolts I'm gonna use. May look like zip ties to you, but they are brackets and bolts in one for this right now. Yeah, that's how we're putting the door on right now, zip ties. Well, there she is after a little tweaking, swearing, playing rusty hinges. The door's on there. All on by the finest zip ties. Admittedly, you'll get more on there. It's not on there very well right now. Like I said, this is a temporary thing anyways. Eventually I will do it right. Put some screws in it. Put the right hinges on it. Because this car's going to be around for a while. Just a matter of getting there. And I might put the front fender on here. Ship it as a whole car for once. I mean, this thing hasn't had all its body panels on it in at least 30 years. So, because when I got the car, it was missing the right rear wing and that door I just put on. So, looking more and more like a car every day. So I think that might be it for today's episode, guys. Like I said, gonna be in the process of moving. If you want to see the process of this garage cleaning out, maybe a time lapse, leave in the comments. Let me know what you want to see. Otherwise, I might be on a little hiatus till my next video. Or maybe the snow melts. It'd be great if it just stayed like 60 and above. I'm a reptile, I hate the cold. We'll see. Anyways, see you guys next time.